All right, let's jump right in. OLA Electric stock absolutely caught fire today. And the big question on everyone's mind is, what in the world lit the match? We're about to find out. Just look at this number, up over 15% in a single day. You know, in the stock market, a move like that isn't just a jump, it's a massive statement. And something that's big, well, it definitely demands an explanation. People who watch the markets have the perfect word for it. They're saying OLA became a Sola, which means a flame. And you can see why. The stock absolutely ignited today, and it got everyone's attention. So that leads us to the central question of this whole explainer. What is really behind this fire? Is it just one little spark, or is there a whole lot of fuel being thrown on it? Let's start digging. To really understand what happened, our first stop has to be following the money trail. Come on, let's look at the hard data, because you know what they say? The numbers don't lie. And whoa, just look at this trading volume. On a normal day, you might see around 11 core in trades, but today, that number just exploded to 100 core. We're talking nearly 10 times the usual action. This is not a flicker of interest, folks. This is a wildfire. And get this wasn't just a bunch of day traders jumping in and out for a quick profit. The data shows the highest deliverable quality we've seen in 2 months. Now, what that means is a huge number of these shares are being bought to be held. These are serious long-term bets being placed. Which, of course, leads to the most obvious question. Who is behind all this buying? Who are the big players making these massive moves? And this, right here, is where the plot thickens. Under the surface, there's this massive shift happening. On one side, you've got the foreign institutions, the FIIs, and they've been selling off their stake. It's down about 400 basis points, which is just a fancy way of saying 4%. But on the other side, our own domestic institutions are just snapping all of it up and then some. It's a huge vote of confidence from the home team. Okay, so we've seen what happened, this huge surge in buying from domestic players. But now let's get into the why. What's got them so excited? What are the tailwinds pushing this stock forward? From what we can see, it really boils down to 3 main things. Some really positive signals coming from the company itself, a bit of good luck on the global supply chain front, and, of course, some exciting new products that are about to hit the market. So first up, the company's own forecast. OLA is actually projecting that its auto business is going to hit positive earnings, that's EBIT, in the second quarter. And even better, they're aiming for an EBIT margin of over 5% for the full financial year of 2026. That is a loud and clear signal that they believe they're right on the cusp of becoming profitable. Next, we've got some great news coming from the international stage. China has lifted its supply curbs on rare earth magnets. Now, these things are absolutely critical for making EV motors. So this is a huge deal. It basically removes a major potential roadblock and gives OLA a much clearer path for manufacturing. And last but not least, timing is everything, right? Well, OLA has a whole pipeline of new products ready to launch just in time for the festive season, which is always a massive sales period. And there are especially high hopes for their brand new electric bike, the RST. You put strong new products in front of eager buyers at the perfect time, and well, that could be a huge boost to the bottom line. Okay, so we've looked at the market data, we've looked at the fundamental reasons for all this optimism. Now for the million-dollar question. What does all this mean if you're an investor? Let's turn to a technical expert to see what they make of it. This is the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? The stock has shot up a mind-boggling 24% in just 2 days. So if you're watching from the sidelines, you're probably wondering, have I missed the boat, or is now the time to jump in? Well, to answer that, a market expert has laid out a really clear 2-pronged strategy. And it all depends on one simple thing. Are you thinking about buying in, or do you already own the stock? For anyone looking to become a new buyer, the advice is basically be patient. Chasing a stock after it's had a run-up this sharp is, pretty risky. The expert's suggestion is to wait for a little pullback, a dip, as they call it, down into that 45 to 47 price range. That, they say, is a much smarter entry point. Now, what if you're already an investor? The advice here is to hold on tight and ride this wave of momentum. But, and this is super important, you've got to protect your gains. The recommendation is to set a stop loss at 45. That way, if the stock does happen to fall back to that level, your shares sell automatically. It helps lock in your profits and prevents any big losses. So, if all this momentum keeps up, where could the stock be headed next? Well, technical analysis points to a big hurdle up ahead, the 200-day moving average, which is a key long-term indicator for traders. And right now, that sits at a price of 58. So that's the key upside target everyone is watching now. So let's just quickly recap the key takeaways here. First, we saw a massive spike in trading volume, which tells us there's huge interest. Second, there's this really fascinating shift in ownership happening, from foreign players to our domestic institutions. And third, all this is being fueled by a perfect storm of good news, a great profit forecast, some good luck with the supply chain, and some exciting new products. Which leaves us with one final pretty provocative thought to chew on. With all these powerful forces, market momentum, institutional belief, and strong fundamentals all coming together at the exact same time, could this be the moment that OLA Electric has finally, truly turned a corner?